Poisonrana.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana. You found us on whatever podcast app you use, possibly not Stitcher anymore.
Oh, is that gone?
Pour one out, allegedly.
With Showbuzz Daily?
With
They've both had enough.
Fuck. Two birds, one. And yeah, damn.
And Roderick Strong, apparently. Oh, man.
He'll just show up in NXT again.
He should.
The way he left them, he'll just come back.
What up, Big Brute? Just still in the collar. I mean, he had the stretcher job.
Yeah, exactly.
Who fucked up Roderick Strong more, Damon Kemp or Samoa Joe?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that, but welcome to Poisonrana. We are live right now.
We are.
On youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Go give us a follow, a sub. YouTube has kind of changed some of their rules and restrictions and things like that, meaning we're just a little bit closer to getting our own super chats. Maybe one day.
What do we need?
I don't know.
We're going to be rich.
But guys, a like and a view goes a long way. So hit that YouTube subscribe and all that.
Right. I'm all about competition. We had some competitions this time last week at the Forbidden Pour.
Right.
We're teaming up with the Grapple lads.
That's right.
Let's see who can get the first super chat, Poisonrana or Grapple YouTube.
I mean, but with the technicality, we do get super chats on up next.
But on this feed.
On this feed. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll have to kick it into gear.
Yeah.
To see live at all in it.
Yes.
I'm super excited for that one, and watching Money in the Bank that we're gonna dive into definitely get me hyped for jumping over the pond over there. Yeah, exactly. Gonna be a lot of fun. But yes, welcome to Poisonrana. You may notice our voices kind of sound a little bit better.
It's getting there, yeah.
Almost at 100%.
I was working last night and everyone's like, David, you gonna sing karaoke tonight? I went, absolutely not. Not this. And they were like, why? I'm like, I'm on vocal rest, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
Now I know why, like when artists like, oh, I can't sing tonight. Sorry, guys, because my voice.
I saw an interview with Bryan Cranston once, who was like, he would when he does theater, he'd go on vocal rest for a whole day. He'd go into cafes and restaurants and have like a little pad that he'd write on and just be like, I'm literally not talking at all.
I mean, that's a little dramatic. You can.
I mean, he's a good actor.
I mean, yeah, you got to protect.
That's what he is. He is dramatic.
Yeah, you got to protect the voice, I guess. Yeah, we went to like 6 wrestling shows, or it felt like this past week. Check out our show from last Monday where we talked all about Forbidden Door and Forbidden Pour, and our voices, as you could hear, were just absolutely shot. Then I went out to karaoke because some friends were still here. Shout out Daniel and Jonah. Then I went to a concert the next night because I bought these tickets like months and months ago. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a mess. So I did that. And then we went to Dynamite on Hamilton, which we'll definitely get into.
Oh, yeah.
Then we went to Demand Lucha on Thursday, which was also a riot.
Another great show, yeah. Unfortunately, Gringo Loco didn't make it because he was on the ROH tapings.
That's right.
So that 4-way became a 3-way with Speedball, Jack Cartwheel, and Vikingo. Another awesome match.
Oh, man.
Great show.
Insane.
Shout out Los Medico Uno, who had a bit of a scary injury during his match, and like he did walk out after, which was like good, but that was a pretty scary moment on that show as well. Wishing him all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Wishing everyone, and it was, the crowd definitely were supportive and everything, but it was definitely pretty scary. But overall, Demand Lucha again, nailing it out the park. But now we need Gringo Loco to basically come out and cut a heel promo a bit about being like, yeah, I went
big for this company.
I'm too big for you and Canada. And so Jake Cartwheel fought Vikingo and Speedball, and this match was crazy. They'll definitely have it up on their streaming, but follow Demand Lucha. We go to these shows and they're so much fun here in Toronto, and that match just was mind-blowing at best. And I couldn't even imagine if they ever run it back with Gringo added, would be even crazier. But I mean, Cartwheel won, so he's probably going to be coming back eventually.
He's got to be #1 contender now.
There is another.
They didn't strip him. It's not New Japan rules where if you can't make him stripped, he's still our champ.
Yeah,
still our base god.
Yeah, true. Well, they're doing another show later in July, but that we'll be definitely going to. It's on a Sunday though, at the famous Lee's Palace in Toronto. So awesome. You'll definitely be finding
our
it
old
there.
hood.
Yeah, so look for that. Maybe we'll try to get some more interviews and stuff as well. But that's some Toronto local stuff there. But yeah, we were super local by going to not only Forbidden Door and Collision in Toronto, but then we went to Hamilton for Dynamite, and that
My
was
new
great.
favorite place.
Your favorite city in the world?
Hamilton was great.
You
I
hear
love
all
Hamilton.
the bad stuff about Hamilton.
I had such a nice day. We went to Collective Arts Brewery, which is one of my favorite like craft beers.
Yeah, we're from Toronto, and craft and this like beers like that are really popular. But this company is popular not only in Toronto, but I've noticed it in like Brooklyn, New York, and apparently it's like over in Europe.
I love their like whole model. Like they do like really interesting. They have like their staples, like Jam Up the Mash and their IPAs and stuff. But then every season they're like trying all these new wacky things. They're normally pretty good, and the artwork on these cans are beautiful.
Should we just hit them up and be like, look,
we're
promoting you for free?
Why not?
So
Why not? They're fantastic.
And then like we love this beer, right? Like we buy them. They opened up a brewery in Toronto. We go there. They have a can shop, bottle shop, and we buy their stuff all the time. They're pretty good, but they're actually based and they brew in Hamilton, which is about an hour away of Toronto.
Not far, no.
So we decided, hey, why not visit this kind of actual brewery, because we both never have been. And we show up. They got like this huge facility. You can kind of see like the barrels and the giant, like, I don't even know what you call those, the vats of things. And they had like a beer garden. We could sit outside and get fresh beer on tap and some crazy cans and all this stuff. And then they had this food guy, which then we were like, oh, should we get some food? And our friend Scorpio Sam, who drove us, shout out Sam, he was like looking at the menu and he's like, a jerk sandwich. Okay, that's not. And then he looked over and he saw the guy who was like behind the drum giant barbecue.
Like
he's like,
a Jamaican dude.
He's
right?
like, guys, we're getting the so we all got this. And
Heartbreak Chef, right?
Heartbreak Chef.
Wrestling tie in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've been thinking about this sandwich ever since.
We need to recreate
I
this.
tried to make it the other day. I failed. Like, it was fine what I made, but it
like,
wasn't the same.
Yeah, like a piece of like it just awesome spiced jerk chicken that was like barbecued, grilled, and then
Was it like deep fried and then grilled?
I don't know,
think
man.
because it was
awesome.
crispy but barbecued. Like, oh my
The
God.
trick here is he put like pineapple on it, which I've never had on we love on our burgers and pizza and stuff because we're those kinds of people. Yeah, don't add us. But now jerk sandwich with pineapple on it.
You know what I was impressed with as well? Just the heat. Like, if you've been following us a long time, you know we kind of are critical. We'll go for some Indian food or whatever, and they'll ask, how do you like it? And we're like, we like it spicy, make it hot. And we're always like, they're scared we're going to sue them, aren't they? This guy, like, it had real, like,
Brought the
heat to it. It was so tasty.
Yeah, so
I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, I need to. I might try to make it on our.
I might check the Toronto one.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh yeah, they're in Toronto too. Yeah, we're gonna have to try to hit that up. That was just genuine. Like we just genuinely had a great day. It was beautiful out. We sat on this like garden with this crazy graffiti artwork in front of this brewery, and then drank these beers.
We then went to Farside
Yeah,
bar.
we wandered around. Shout out anyone in Hamilton who said hello to the Poisonrana lads. We had quite a
We
few
had quite
people.
a few, yeah.
I'm blanking on your name. I could probably find it, but someone came up to us and hugged us. And then like 5 minutes later, I got a message and he was like, I'm so embarrassed I hugged you guys. I was like, don't you dare.
We're huggers here, yeah.
We are damn huggers in our family. So always a hug appreciated, but always love the shout outs there.
We found this this bar called Farside, which was recommended to us by a girl who was working at the bottle shop at Collective Arts, who just coincidentally knows your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So she recommended this bar, which used to be owned by the owners of Handlebar, where we go for karaoke, and our DJ we use for Forbidden Pour DJs at.
Yeah. Small world.
As well as the bar I used to work at. So we're like, we gotta check it out. And they had WrestleMania 4 on VHS being projected on the wall while we were there. And not only did they have that, they had Fournette Branca as their rail.
I've never seen you more. You sat beside me for Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega 2, and you jumped out of your seat. But the second we're at a bar and they're like, rails on sale, and Fournette Branca's on rail. You were like, what? Oh my God.
This guy, like behind the bar, super nice guy. We were like, hey, would you like a shot? He's like, nah, I'm good. And then before we left, I was like, I wonder if they have Fournette. I was like, do you have Fournette? And he's like, yeah, it's on rail.
Hold it out.
I can tell you're a barman. Fuck it, I'm having a shot with you guys.
Yeah, Davey's been on a kick of Fournette Branca thanks to Michael Caine in The Dark Knight Rises. Davey just makes everyone watch this.
And then
we watch Hans.
we went to the show. We were second row. We'll get into Dynamite and Collision in just a bit, and then went to the pub after. We didn't stay for Rampage. If you were a post wrestling listener, and you heard the discourse, will Braden and Davie stay for Rampage? Where he was like, I think Claudio versus Commander will be a draw enough. The hour before that was not a draw for us, so we went and got food, had a good beer cheese dip, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, we were just getting fancy and
I love Hamilton. Ignore everything.
Ignore all the crackheads
Ethan
on the
Page
street.
For world champ.
Yeah, the fine city of Hamilton. It has stepped up in the past few years, and having cool places like that people, are becoming fans of, breweries and restaurants and stuff like that. It is cool to see, kind of outside of this shadow of Toronto that kind of we cast over a lot of other towns don't like us, but because we're the only real big city.
Well, it's like being from London as well.
I imagine it's the same thing.
If you're in the UK, the rest of Europe hate you.
Yeah.
If you're in England, the rest of the UK hate you.
Yeah.
And if you're in if you're in London, the rest of England hates.
They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us.
That's not what they say. But I had a great time in Hamilton. And
they also had a smoking area. I'm just looking at our picture of CHCH over QTV in the smoking area at the First Ontario Centre.
You know what? So
we missed the whole of Jungle Boy, unfortunately. Your girlfriend is just destined to never see
Jungle Boy live. Yeah, she's come to a few shows and is always like, oh, I want to see Jungle Boy. And then every show she comes to, he's never on. And every show that she doesn't come to, he has a match on. And it just so happened that she was finally coming to the show where he's going to cut his heel promo. And we just accidentally went to go smoke during that. So she was like, I don't want to see him be a bad guy. And then we caught the tail end of it. And she was like, oh, he's a bad guy now. Okay, maybe. So he still has one fan out there being my girlfriend of Jungle Boy. But I enjoyed our time in Hamilton, and more venues need a smoking. You should be able to go in and out. Like, people do it inside. I saw a guy light a joint inside the venue. So like, I didn't, but like, why not give people that opportunity? I totally get it. In bigger cities, maybe it's harder to, but it does let people, like, I don't know, get more. It's just like, why cut off the bar early, right?
Yeah,
they do that at venues too.
I mean, it depends on like events. I know there are certain events they don't want people to get too rowdy, like boxing crowds in particular. And I know definitely in the UK there's issues where venues think wrestling crowds are the same as boxing crowds, so they kind of treat them the same with, security in the bar and stuff like that. But we all know we're just a bunch of fucking nerds who just want to sing.
Yeah.
We just want to sing.
Yeah, exactly.
And have fun. But and chop each other maybe. But
I'm glad we didn't get into the chopping this time around.
A few more finettes.
Next time, yeah, because like it was crazy having we got to hear our whole Forbidden Door show, but like having so many of our friends and our supporters and our real close ones, like our bloodline, get all together here, and our friends from Toronto hanging out with people visiting from all over. It was so much emotions going through us, and so cool to see. It was like our Avengers Unite kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But like the chops didn't come out, and I was happy because like there's some people we get into the chops, and the whole thing with CM Punk not like getting chopped in the face, that would definitely come into play where people would just start chopping each other in the mouth, and I wouldn't be down with that. So I'm happy you didn't get to that level, but yeah. We have a lot of stuff to talk about because Money in the Bank was yesterday on Saturday. The one Saturday that I offered to work because it was Live Golf at work on CHCH. So I didn't have it off that I didn't get to hang out because it's pretty cool with these pay-per-views in the afternoon.
I love an afternoon show.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So I just waited I did not avoid certain spoilers, but which didn't really matter to me. But then I just watched it today, so I did catch up today.
I was pretty lucky. I got to watch all except the main event before work, and then work was so busy that I didn't get spoiled. So I did finish it this morning. But yeah, we'll get into that in just a sec. But a couple of plugs.
Yeah,
absolutely. Move on.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're listening to us on this feed, thank you very much. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, because we have lots of other shows on this feed, like Shot in the Dark with John Cena, where he covers everything else in the world of wrestling that you may or may not know about or miss. He cherry picks and lets you know what goes on. But Cena also has another show that just returned this week. In fact, it's up on this feed now with B Detroit. What up, doe? where they are talking all about their whole time visiting Toronto with us and hanging out. The Forbidden Door show, Collision, Forbidden Door, the BSK house.
Oh, yeah.
It's a BSK house party edition of What Up Doe. And I know they jump on a whole other variety of topics like the AEW video game.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get a hold of that before we do this show, because I
Right.
wanted to kind of talk a little bit about it. However, I've lost the cable for my PlayStation.
Oh, no.
So, and also my PlayStation is set to UK, which means I'd have to pay like $20 more to get it. So I need to get a physical copy, but they're like few and far between. So I don't know when I'm going to play this
Oh,
thing.
my God. I mean, I could get it on Switch. Should I just do that? It's not going to be the same.
Nah.
I'm thinking I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy it on Switch.
I will get it on PlayStation eventually, but
Right.
like,
Because like a few people were like, "You're crazy, don't do that. Just get it for PlayStation."
let's get it on everything.
But I'm like, yeah, but it's cool. You could play it like on a plane and stuff.
I've heard it's quite fun to play, and I actually think for the kind of gamers we are,
Yeah.
where we just like playing each other,
Yeah,
we don't really do much of like story modes and single player kind of thing. I think it could be fun for us.
yeah.
I think it'll be pretty fun game.
We probably totally could have got a media copy, but I just didn't. Just didn't apply for it. I think I feel bad late now. It's too late now.
Hey, can I get a copy?
Yeah, because I want to play it.
No, it's been out.
Yeah,
already.
it's like no.
Yeah.
So I'll just buy it then. And we'll
Yeah.
play it. So listen to What Up Though. We're being seen. We'll talk a bit about
Those
that.
guys are always great. I love listening to B&C.
Oh yeah, my new favorite podcast. I haven't listened yet, so I know that's my next next walk-in pod that I have lined up and queued up there. So go check that out here on the free feed. But hey, you want to help support us so I can go buy AEW Fight Forever? Go to patreon.com/PoisonRana, because for $5 it gets you a whole month's access to become a friend, and you can access all the other podcasts that we do behind that paywall, including our retro pay-per-view reviews, Was Next, and some movie reviews. We've done a whole ton of movies lately.
It was Vengeance Month.
But yeah, it was Vengeance. I mean, you had the Batman here on for free, but you want the real Vengeance. This week, we looked at Vengeance 2006 as voted by the Facebook group, which was not ever so slightly,
What are you saying? We recount the votes? No.
count the votes. Stop the count.
Burnt ballots?
So we finally get to talk about Sabu versus John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
And RVD versus Edge, DX versus Spirit Squad, Kane versus
Kane
Fake
versus
Kane.
Kane.
Too bad there was no Blue Kane in that.
Right? Yeah.
Make a
My
triple
new
threat.
favorite wrestler.
Yeah, Blue
When's
Kane.
he going to be on Demand?
He's
Lucha?
got to get over here quick. Yeah. Jordan's got to get on that. Yeah, get Blue Kane to Demand Lucha. But yeah, we looked at Vengeance 2006. It's such a ridiculous show. Who remembers when Vince McMahon possibly murdered a kid in a wheelchair? Listen to us talk about it on this show. And if you like Sabu, we did a Best Match Ever Sabu a few weeks ago covering that. And then this week, somehow, some way, we have an Up Yours as picked by family member Chris Leone, because it's springtime, because it's summertime. He has picked a very summer spooky movie, Midsummer.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk all about that. So for you horror fans,
I think there's a lot to talk about with this film. I've only seen it once when it came out. I'm really interested to revisit this one. It's pretty
Florence Pugh.
unsettling. Florence Pugh, who's
Paige.
incredible. Really excited for this. And if you know, we've had Chris Leone on quite a few times. He often, we've talked about like Twilight Zone and stuff like that. So he knows his horror. So yeah, really excited. And it makes sense because it's midsummer now.
it's Midsummer, and we're going to be reviewing Midsummer. So we'll put the feedback thread up coming up soon. So would love any feedback in. I know a lot of you guys are fans of that one out there, but yeah, Midsummer coming out this week. But lots of other shows. It's only $5 to become a friend. You get access to everything we've ever done. All those movie reviews in the can there. Go check us out. And it's only $5, because how can I afford to buy Fight Forever when all I do is spend my time podcasting?
Yeah.
I'm never going to play it.
Also, the exchange rate sucks, and we're going to the UK in about like 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah. We'll start a GoFundMe for
Yeah.
our travels, because we're gonna be in the UK for All In, which looks still absolutely crazy. Some people were saying that this was the first WWE show that advertised AEW in the break on certain channels,
Right.
for All In. So very smart of AEW to get in there, especially the papers and stuff.
I've seen they're doing the push in the UK as well,
Right.
like full page spreads in
Yeah,
newspapers and things like that. So they're really starting to push it. I imagine you'll start seeing a lot in the UK on like, breakfast television and all that kind of thing to really sell these last few tickets for this event. But definitely Money in the Bank wet my whistle for this huge stadium show in a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. Just in a month or so, 2 months or so, we'll be having carveries, and I'm going to be calling. Everyone walks around calling people wankers, right? That's what I learned from watching Money in the Bank.
Wrestling fans, apparently. Yeah,
everyone's a wanker.
And sing.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah, this is also true. Yeah. So yeah, GoFundMe coming soon. But right now, go to patreon.com/Poisonrana.
Well, shall we go into it?
Yes.
Money in the Bank last night. We're going to go through this show in order. We haven't spoken at all to each other about this yet. So we started with the men's Money in the Bank match with Damian Priest going over. We had Logan Paul. We had Ricochet. We had Butch. We had LA Knight. Who else was in here? I've closed the page.
Well, I had it open and then I lost it as well.
Yeah, me too. Damian Priest, Butch, LA Knight, Logan Paul, Ricochet, Santos Escobar, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Right.
Damian Priest going over in 20 minutes, 27 seconds. LA Knight, the huge babyface pop from this crowd. This guy is getting so over at the moment.
This guy's getting crazy over.
Yeah.
I've mentioned, I think once or twice, like my brothers are in and out wrestling fans, and they keep going, what's going on with this LA Knight guy? Who's this guy? He's awesome. He's great. And I'm like, that is nuts. Casuals love this guy, and the hardcores are instantly latching back onto this guy. Like, this guy's been around for so long, not in WWE, but finally like getting a reaction. And you know what? It's because everyone's like, man, this guy reminds me of The Rock, Stone Cold. The way this guy talks and walks, and he believes he's the man, and that's how you become the man, when you act like this and think like this. Like, I see this guy being champion, and they put him in a great, I mean, specifically the finish where he clears house and the crowd going mental, and he goes there and no, not him. And of course, the wrestling fans online now, a day removed, are like, oh, of course.
I'm giving up on WWE.
Yeah, the right guy. No, like this, he's just getting over right now, so we got to build him up. Why would you?
He'll now be a babyface, pretty much.
Exactly.
And I think the briefcase always makes more sense on a heel.
For sure.
But yeah, it's interesting because my like lapsed fans, friends, like Attitude Era guys, they'll always go on like YouTube rabbit holes and things. It's never watching matches. It's watching promos.
Right.
Like one of my friends, Dean, who does our Up Next theme, he's like every Rumble season he watches The Rock's promo from the 2000 Royal Rumble, and like that's what got people over back in the day, and it's completely what's happening with LA Knight. And I wouldn't say he's a knockoff because he's so natural at it, and he's obviously I've listened to him in interviews say, I studied that shit. Like I knew where I am. I'm not going to be doing 450s and keeping up that way, but I can wrestle, but I can really talk, and I can talk myself into a room. And look how over this guy is right now.
It's just so ridiculous. You know what? But so are a lot of the characters that were in this match. Like Ricochet, I guess, coming in, not really having much heat, but really delivering in a lot of the big spots. Definitely saving what could have been a very scary spot, which he maybe made a bit scarier, but like they were clearly going for something else that got flubbed up. That was clearly
the
botched
Spanish
up.
Fly springboard.
And right away you see he says something to Logan Paul, who listens to him and then gets Spanish Fly off like the top of those ropes through the outside to that table. Very scary.
Like head first through the table.
Yeah, and I mean, and Logan Paul looks pretty beat up. He's posting some photos, but like again, on the fly stuff there, that spot could have just been completely ruined, and he went, no, let's go for it. So you were fortunate that there's no like real serious injury from something like that. But wow,
you got to give Logan Paul so much credit. Like, this
absolutely.
is what this guy's 5th match off the top of my head. Like something
true.
like that. That is crazy that he's doing a ladder match to this level, doing spots like this. Like gotta be, I mean, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest was fantastic, but this has got to be the best celebrity wrestler there's ever been. Like I'm
all of these
so
guys
impressed with this guy.
Great. Like
He
all
looked,
the way they're being
if you
trained.
didn't know who anyone was and you're watching this match, I don't think you go, who's that guy? He stands out as not meant to be there.
No, he didn't at all. No, he looked fine. And like Butch got an ovation wearing his gear and stuff like that. But I'd say LA Knight got a bigger reaction.
Oh, he did.
And Shinsuke Nakamura coming hot off his Lil Uzi track that they referenced also, where for some reason Lil Uzi, this rapper, he was at WrestleMania actually. He brought out the Usos. He sampled Nakamura's song in a track that's like kind of blowing up now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him play Nakamura out like at a next pretty big show in the future. I'm surprised
In Detroit?
SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's possible. That would make a lot of sense. That's the next big show. It's going to be a pretty big one. because we're gonna be there. But yeah, this ladder match was pretty fun. I wouldn't say it got to like the levels. I feel like for the last like 5 to 10 years, these ladder matches are so like maybe not memorable, but maybe a spot where I'll always remember Ricochet and Logan Paul almost dying but landing it. But so it was a bit above like some of the past ones.
I mean, I think we just see so many of them across all these companies and all these big stunts. You do tend to forget about pretty quickly nowadays, and I think everyone goes back to those first TLC matches because it was the first time we saw a lot of these things happen. But great crowd for this. I really like the choice of Damian Priest, actually. I think Judgment Day has a hell of a lot of steam. I think Damian Priest kind of earned a lot of respect from the Bad Bunny feud.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense. They've been playing up the tension between him and Finn. I think he's someone who can carry this briefcase around for a while. And I think he'll, deserve the championship when it comes to it. So I did like the choice. As much as the pop for LA Knight winning would have been great, or I think the idea of Logan Paul having it and having it on his podcast set you know, being like not on TV for a while, but then coming in as a surprise with that would have made sense. But I really like the direction of Damian Priest. Judgment Day are hot. Why not go with it?
Yeah, I definitely don't hate Damian Priest winning it because I am a huge fan. And if you weren't a fan from before the Bad Bunny stuff, then like you definitely are after that. And I see him being a kind of key player. This guy is also like the guy who's on every house show and like at every live event, and having that as a kind of a thing to have is extra to that, to get crowd reactions.
100%.
Where you can't have Logan Paul show up all the time because he ain't cheap to show up all the time at random places and pay-per-views and shows if he's not booked.
Yep.
So it does make sense to have someone who is there all the time. And I mean, they do the thing sometimes where they flop it around. I'm not saying that could happen, but like there is that.
Yeah, I mean, there's totally the story of Priest kind of costing Balor the match, so Balor challenging him for the briefcase.
Sure,
you know, that's certainly something you could do.
Because there is, excuse me, there is some teasing between like Priest and the Judgment Day. Maybe it's because Bailey's taking his spot.
Oh yeah, is that what's happening?
Did you notice that in the women's battle, women's Money in the Bank? For some reason, the announcer says representing Judgment Day, Bailey.
I completely
and I
missed
went,
that.
what? Huh? I'm out having a smoke. I'm like, what did she just say? So maybe she's
WWE Women's Champion Batista. Wasn't that a thing once?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, fun opener, hot crowd. We then went to probably the match had least interest in was the women's tag match. Shayna and Ronda defending against Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv and Raquel getting the titles again after Shayna turning on Ronda out of nowhere. In my opinion, hot shotting this feud before Ronda leaves.
Yeah, I think Ronda is going to be gone real quick. And I guess she wants the match with Shayna to end.
It's probably a match both have wanted to do. It makes sense. There's built-in history there, but it did feel completely. There was no tease of this happening.
Also, way to go on burying the new team that just came in and losing those titles, the Witches.
Yeah,
when you could have done something with, you could have easily had them feud with Liv Morgan and Raquel, but instead you just completely like mucked that around.
Yeah.
For what reason? Just to have this happen.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this. Ronda's been so cold. Clearly just didn't want to go to NXT to defend these things.
Yeah.
Liv and Raquel, they really need to. It's time to, start reheating up the Witches. Start heating up Kaden and Katana.
They're on SmackDown too. Main roster?
They're a main roster. Okay, I can't remember what brand. Move up Valentina and Yulissa. You know, like let's actually start having this division mean something, because it means nothing right now, and I can't say I'm interested in a Ronda Shayna feud particularly.
Yeah. Fight Pit. Yeah, sure. And Ronda's out. Ronda's gone because it's just not. I think people are over it. It's totally done.
Shayna's someone I think you can. I feel it's maybe a bit too gone, but like she should be a dominant heel in this division, and they just. I think it like Vince booking or whatever. She just hasn't been anything on the main roster. Maybe Triple H can put a bit more behind her, and if it's Shayna writing off Ronda Rousey, that would be good for her.
Yeah.
I don't really have much more to say about this match. Do you?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
I was making lunch during this match.
Okay. We then had Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship.
My reaction too was like, the tag. Here's Shayna. Just beats her up. And I went, huh. Well, see you later.
I like Liv Morgan's Jerry Halliwell inspired gear.
Yeah, I mean, completely. I wish she didn't do that because now I got to rework on what I'm gonna wear to All In. 'Cause I was planning on getting the Jerry.
Oh, you should dress like as a proper Cockney with all the
what, like a hat?
It's like all the buttons and stuff all over you.
Wait, like a. I'm thinking like a
what do they call
hat?
it?
I don't know.
Cockney.
But Liv. I was a fan of Liv Spice. I was a fan. She could be a Spice Girl if she wanted to be.
Liv Spice. Yeah, I mean she's more of a baby than a.
She's a baby Spice. Yeah.
Jerry though.
She
but
needs
right.
a lollipop.
Yeah, this is what you need to dress up like.
What the hell is that?
That's a proper Cockney right there.
It's a black and white. All right, it's not. It's interesting.
It's a choice, yeah.
Yeah.
Pearly Kings and Queens. That's what you need to look up.
Yeah. What am I gonna wear it all in? That's the new fun thing of going to so many wrestling shows last week. It was like,
how ridiculous can I look at this show?
Can I wear?
Yeah. But yeah, Gunther, Matt Riddle for the IC title. Michael Cole making a reference of their past. Shout out the Electric Ballroom.
Yeah.
And shout out Progress, where they had quite a few matches for the Atlas title. First time I've ever seen a chop to the foot before, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. CM Punk was watching somewhere like, oh, that looked like it hurt. To the foot. Oh my God. He's unsafe. Yeah, I love that finish where he just started slapping at his foot. It looks like this guy's getting like almost he's like, my feet are hurting, a massage, and he's just bam. But I mean, you're not wearing boots, so like it's your own fault.
I mean, Gunther always delivers here, and I actually like on commentary, like even though this guy's a heel, Cole and Barrett were like, fucking love Gunther matches.
Cole
Like we can
Gunther.
just sit back and know we're getting a good match.
Yeah.
I don't think this was maybe the level of some of the Gunther matches we've seen.
From what we've seen in the past between these two, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable. They went just 7 minutes 44, so it wasn't like an epic or anything. But Gunther retaining with a new submission. I love that he just wins like with so many different moves: the splash, the lariat, the last symphony, the sleeper, and now this like, what was it, knee bar or ankle lock or something he had here. But the big news is Drew McIntyre returning to confront Gunther after, and clearly made his choice that he's staying home.
Yeah, imagine people were thinking this guy was jumping ship, which I never
bought it.
Yeah, I just thought he was taking some time off. Is he the guy that was blurred out of a photo that everyone was passing around this weekend? On the way there, the wrestlers were posting photos like traveling and partying.
Right.
And stuff.
Okay.
There's a photo with like a bunch of certain guys on the roster right now, and it was blurred out, and people were like, "Oh, this has to be Drew." So I would imagine it was him, just to avoid the spoiler.
Yeah, because he'd want to be incognito, but that guy's going to want to drink in London with Sheamus and the lads.
Just there, yeah, he's hanging out. He'll dress in all Cockney and with the hat and glasses on. No one would recognize him, right? This big, huge man. I love that he's back and kind of going face to face with Gunther. Is that the SummerSlam match?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Like that triple threat was awesome, and I think Drew's at his best when he's against big guys that he can throw around.
Yeah.
Drew's not afraid of getting hit. He's not afraid of hitting people.
Exactly.
I think that would be awesome. I think Gunther's reign should continue beyond that, but or you could do kind of the double turn. I think a Drew kind of heel direction would be a good thing, and maybe him going over Gunther with a heel run with this title. But yeah, I think that was a good moment. Obviously, kind of local, being Scotland.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that feud.
Yeah. No. I think this past like few years, I started to like him a bit more. He's like a safe kind of wrestler, but lately, depending on who he wrestles, he has really good.
Same with Sheamus. Like I think they've been there a long time, and you start to go, okay, I get it, and kind of respect what you do now. And Gunther brings the best out of people, so that's going to be awesome. Yeah, I thought the Riddle match was like, all right, could have gone a step further, but was happy with the angle. And then what did we have?
Well, then we had Dominic being booed out of the whole. What is this? O2.
The O2 Arena.
This is Mission Impossible, right?
This is
they promoted Mission Impossible.
Oh, are they using it there? Oh no! I mean, I know it. The world is not enough. The opening scene.
Oh, right,
Pierce
right,
Brosnan rolling down the
That's
dome.
what they're using in the opening
Yeah.
credit in the commercials, right? Yeah, Dominic getting almost completely booed out of the place. I love that. That's the thing in wrestling right now. Someone had a sign that said "Diarrhea Ripley."
Right. Love it.
But then Cody getting the crowd just singing. Downstate's just waiting for that call to come back and play him.
I feel this was a crowd that most people know, like Adrenaline and Myself.
No, I think they did
Something. They did the something,
yeah.
but they kept singing. They knew like every
They
word.
knew
to
every
this
word,
song.
as we all do. But they definitely did it that part. Yeah, they did it. As we will be doing at SummerSlam.
100%.
So we'll keep the trend going.
I mean, look at that picture right there. Dominic just looking so scared.
Yeah, I love scared Dom.
This was fun. I was kind of expecting I think when this immediately followed the Drew return, it kind of confirmed, all right, we're not going to get Brock coming here. There was rumors that this was going to close the show.
Yeah, I did
for a bit, which seemed really odd.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I was kind of thinking we might see Brock and Dom getting like a cheap win that he could kind of go off on, but at the end of the day, it was just a pretty convincing win for Cody.
Oh yeah, beating him. He hit the Alabama Slam, and then he hit all his finishers in a row.
Yeah,
like, all those things. But I love that. I didn't like the matches, whatever, but it was kind of funny, like a comedic kind of thing.
I mean, it's just elevated by this crowd. Everything. Yeah. I love the Daddy Cool chant for Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
I loved Rhea's like face paint thing she does. She always changes it up on her cheek, and it said "Dommy Mommy," which got a pop out of me.
So I assume we're going to that Brock Cody match at SummerSlam. What do you think the stip will be?
I mean, I imagine it was some sort of dog collar strap match or something. Hell in a Cell, possibly. What else could it possibly be? 2 out of 3 stages of hell.
3 stages of hell. Wow. Yeah.
Good. 3 stages of hell. Like the first one's the strap match. The second one's first one's a wrestling match.
It's normally normal street fight and then cage
Cell.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or any of those things, I guess.
I'd really like I feel like Cody is probably pushing for like some sort of dog collar bull rope match.
Right, yeah.
I'd like that. It's whether you can convince Brock to do something like that. But I definitely think we're getting some sort of stip. And either way, a cell or a dog collar, I'm kind of all for.
Yeah.
And they seem to be loosening up on the blood a little bit as well. I think this one needs to be a bloody climax.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cody going
over
and then finally can move on essentially. But yeah, that would make a lot of sense and probably would be the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Over
those two over possibly Roman J.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
And Dom's a wanker.
Dom is a wanker, but apparently a lot of people are wankers because every single person
we're all wankers.
We're all wankers.
We're all wankers.
Except Grayson Waller, apparently.
Yeah, he doesn't need to.
He's like, sorry, I don't need to.
Yeah. Fair play. Good for him.
That's because Cena comes out here after that. Was that later
no,
on?
we got the women's.
Oh, right.
Women's Money in the Bank.
Oh, that's right.
With
of course.
Your girl Leo.
That's right. Yeah, this was pretty crazy. I actually really got into this match. I think I even maybe liked it more than the men's just because of some of the people who were involved in some of the storytelling about how I hate it. I know I actually liked Cole and Barrett together. Like I thought they did a bang up job, but I don't know how many times both of them kept saying like, Becky's never won Money in the Bank. She's got to win it. I think they like if you were to have taken a shot for every time they said that during this match, you'd be lit because like I was like, yo, I get it, but also Trish has never. So is Zoe. So none of these people.
Bailey's won it.
So
I think
shut
that's
up.
It. Yeah.
It's like so. I'm like, yeah, okay. Someone's in your ear to tell you this, but they kept doing it. I was like, oh my god, shut up. I love this match though. It was pretty great because Bailey has some history with London, kind of over there with them singing her song. It got a huge smile out of me when I heard them singing, "Hey Bailey, I want to know if you can be my girl." But then also like the history with Becky and Bailey kind of being thrown in there. Trish Stratus with Zoe worked well together because it helped like protect Trish. I would say Trish was doing some stuff where I'm like, what are you doing exactly? But then other things, she looked pretty good.
I've been super impressed with Trish on this run. We were at my bar recently and had Raw on on mute.
Yeah.
And it was the match against Raquel.
Yeah.
We're watching going, Trish is like putting it all out there, like getting thrown around, like that whole bear hug tossing around thing. I think she's looked fantastic on this run and is completely keeping up with the rest of the division. I thought this match was, I loved like the booking going into it because there were all these little mini stories. There's the Bailey Io stuff, the Zoe Trish stuff, and kind of Becky against the world kind of thing.
And Zelina
yeah,
with her flip flop.
Yeah, with her chonkla.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this match. I thought the finish was really creative, and we haven't really seen something like that. And you saying about kind of memorable ladder matches and how to be memorable, I thought this was pretty memorable end to this.
That's what I did enjoy this one more than the men's one because it did have way more creative things. You know, if you listen, I'm Io Sky, my all-time like wrestler. She's just so good, and here she is on a WWE pay-per-view in another country that you would imagine she's just from there, because everywhere she goes she gets that hometown pop and hometown reaction. So
it's great. It's awesome.
This is just like, I've watched this person wrestle for so long, and now she's getting that like reaction, and winning this Money in the Bank hopefully means to eventually getting a huge match. And if you know this is happening, maybe it's Asuka and Io at SummerSlam possibly. Like, no one who's won women's Money in the Bank has held it like that long really in recent memory. So maybe they won't do that route and have her hold on to it, but she's a babyface kind of, and I think now if she maybe just laid it on the line saying I want you at SummerSlam,
it's whether we get the Bailey match first, because I feel we will get the Bailey attacking Io tomorrow probably.
Oh,
with
okay.
you know like Bailey costing Io earlier in the match, tipping her off. And then Io handcuffing her to Becky, not allowing her to win and climbing over to win it. You could do Io putting it on the line with Bailey at SummerSlam.
Because I'd prefer it if Bailey just then attacked Io after if she like either costs Io the match or attacks her after the match to like lay out that challenge. Because when it was Bailey kind of costing Io, she reacted like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it's a ladder match, and then it continues. And then when Io does it and climbs up her back, handcuffs her and Becky, when she wins it, the shot of Bailey was really telling too, of like smiling like, all right, fair play, you got me there, good on you there. And then the presser too, she like holds it for her, and Io's like, that's mine, hold on, give it back. I really got into this. And Io Shirai again just show. Also, wait, sorry, Zelina brought out the flip flop, but there was also the sunset flip like onto the ladder, the ladder.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was insane. So this was like my probably the second favorite match of the night.
Really enjoyable stuff. Any direction you go with Io is exciting for me. Like the Bailey match sounds great. The whether it's against Asuka, that's something we haven't seen. That would be awesome. A Rhea rematch down the line, Charlotte, Becky. Like there's so many options now. Io finally feels like one of the main players in the women's roster, which is something we've been wanting for years at this point.
I'm excited. I'll definitely be tuning in a lot more if she's like a champion and a mainstay character, which she's on her way there. The crowd reaction here, the crowd reaction at Backlash, everywhere. So she's killing it.
And they're doing they're using her English sparingly but effectively. I think any kind of promo you've seen backstage or whatever, I think's really worked, and she's got so much natural charisma. I think this could really work. We've seen it work with Asuka. Like it finally, kind of the pandemic was when they were like, oh, okay. Yeah. She doesn't need to necessarily speak English to get over. Right. And I think this is going to be super exciting for Io.
Yeah, I need Io to like challenge Asuka at SummerSlam. And if that's not the route and you think maybe possibly Bailey versus Io, then maybe it's the briefcase on the line at SummerSlam for that or something like that too.
Love it.
But either way, Io Sky gets me high. This was awesome, and finally seeing her. She's undefeated in ladder matches. I think she's technically lost a tag one or something, but when it comes to being single in a ladder match, she's always won it.
Interesting.
At least in WWE. So,
yeah, cool.
In NXT. But yeah, Queen of the Sky.
We had the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins taking on Finn Balor. 7 years in the making. I did like the kind of callback to SummerSlam, especially the night after on Raw with Finn relinquishing the title and Seth just laughing at him. I'd like to call back to that. and how it's kind of eaten and consumed Finn since then. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, this one, I don't know. Wasn't really excited going into it, to be fair. This whole world title thing is something that's not working with me. It's a prop to make you be interested in a match that like doesn't have much story behind it. Here, they do have history, so that is pretty cool. I don't know, going into it, I know both guys are really technically sound and really good wrestlers, and at one point, you know, some of the best wrestlers they have in ring wise, but something just didn't really draw me into the story, and I didn't feel like it got into any like next level gear that maybe we know deep down these two kind of had. And you know what? It was a shame that SummerSlam match ended with the way it did with the injury, because like that one felt really good, but also didn't get to like a level that we kind of know these two are really possibly good at. I don't know.
I know, I completely agree. I definitely preferred the SummerSlam match to this one. This one didn't go too long. It was 12 and a half minutes. It felt a little flat to me. As you said, both, you know, are technically sound and can put on a very good match. Seth has been killing it recently. I just don't think there was any possibility of Finn Balor winning, which you always want that seeded doubt. I think like it could happen. Finn could win. And like, I didn't really ever have that. I found the finish, the Priest kind of distraction finish, a little weak as well. So yeah, it wasn't bad, but I was just like, okay, I'm ready for the main now, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Priest, like having the briefcase and that with Finn is like an interesting thing, but I don't know, I didn't really care about this match, so sorry, Finn. And I love Finn, but
it's gonna take a while for this title to mean something.
Exactly.
And I think they're doing the right thing with Seth. I think they've said he's defended it like 5 or 6 times already since winning.
Right.
I think that's the right thing to do, and therefore Seth kind of needs a bit of a longer run before it moves on to someone else. It can get there. It can get established. They did manage to like reestablish the like under a Universal Championship back when they introduced the World Heavyweight Championship in 2003 or whatever it was. They managed to do it then. The problem is Roman's been so dominant that every title seems like a B title beyond that. Even, I mean, Gunther's run.
Exactly.
That title feels like the B title over this for now, but it's going to take time.
Yeah.
But still, like, kind of interested to see Seth's next feuds and stuff, because he does put on good matches, but this was just kind of there for me.
Well, now we can talk about John Cena.
I didn't see him.
Get out of here. That joke is never going to go old.
No.
The other day, someone told me a shark fact the other day.
Oh.
Talking about jokes that never go old.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Shark Week is coming.
It is July. It's Shark Month.
It's Shark Month here.
Can you hit me with Shark Fact?
Shark fact. I have one ready for you here.
Okay.
Sharks don't have bones.
What? What are teeth then?
Friends of ours visiting Toronto went to the aquarium right near the BDE Tower here, and they sent me a picture. They're like, "Yo, there's shark facts in the Shark Tank here," and it says sharks don't have bones.
But they have teeth?
They have teeth.
What are teeth then?
Teeth.
Teeth are bones? No.
They got other stuff in it.
What?
I don't know.
I gotta look this up. I don't believe you.
3 years running, and you've not looked it up. I could be lying. No, it's true. It's true. We will be celebrating Shark Week,
as we always do.
Yeah, as we always do. We'll probably put it to a vote. We have done Sharknado. We've done Deep Blue Sea. I think it's time for Jaws, but there's the Meg. There's the Meg 2 that's coming out now.
We always put the Meg on that list.
No one votes for it, and no one voted for Jaws the other time. But now
all right, we'll get that poll up. So Jaws, the Meg.
What other good shark?
I like that film Open Water. It wouldn't win a vote, but like it's a pretty good shark movie.
Okay.
You know, when the couple, have you seen it?
No, I've actually never seen it.
It's pretty good. It's a couple like are on like a cruise. They dive in the sea, but kind of I think it's based on truth. The ship like leaves them and they're stranded. And then they're just in the middle of the sea trying to survive.
It sounds terrifying.
And then sharks come along.
I would be terrified.
Oh, it was pretty scary.
So maybe that'll be put into the vote. There's also the Shallows.
In the shallow, that one.
Shark Week this year is from July 23rd to July 30th. So the end of July. There, be Shark Week.
All right.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we did We did thing last week, didn't we? What the hell? The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
You ever heard of this movie?
No.
We're definitely not doing that one.
The Reef.
The Reef.
Okay. The Meg. Yeah, it's gonna be the Meg or Jaws, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
The same ones that have been in the loop.
Yeah.
We'll also take new ones. If you know any good shark movies out there.
Megalodon.
Actually, Anaconda was on at work the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, man, remember that movie? Ice Cube, J-Lo, Owen Wilson.
My like best friend at primary school, it was like his favorite movie. Anaconda. He was like, "This is the greatest film."
How can you
it's
say?
Like, what is it about? Giant snake.
How can you say Anaconda's the best film when Lake Placid is also? Have you seen that one with the giant alligator?
Okay.
Was it not Bette Midler? The other. Oh man, we're going
Bette
off.
Midler?
No, definitely not.
No, that's the film I want to see.
No, who's the other old lady?
Barbara Streisand.
No, the one who passed away.
Betty.
Yeah, Betty White.
Betty White.
Yeah.
Rip. Yeah, Cena came out.
So yeah, John Cena makes a surprise appearance here at WWE Money in the Bank. The crowd are going nuts. I think it's the first time they've been back to London for a pay-per-view in a very, very long time. And the last time I'm sure they were there for Raw, and the time before that, Cena would usually get booed out the building from you Londoners. You Brits just loved to hate on John Cena. And now the song and dance is little changed a little bit.
There was no Cena sucks at all.
And he like mentions that right away and says like, "Oh, that sounds good to be cheered by you guys." Genuinely loved that whole interaction. And then it kind of got better. John Cena basically came out and said, "So AEW sold 65 tickets. Can we sell more? Yes, we can. Get ready, because when we announce it, you fuckers better buy tickets." Did I do it right, Paul? Yeah, you're great. Okay, cool. We're off. It's basically, I felt like he was like, "Hey,
it's confirmation. WrestleMania is going to London. They wouldn't do this."
Yeah.
Cena's kind of done this at like dark segments for Raw and SmackDown at tapings I've been to. He's always been like, "I'm pushing for you guys to get a WrestleMania," but never like, on a PLE as heavy-handed as this. I don't know what's taken them so long to do this. These international shows have been such a success. We've already seen like All In is one of the highest grossing events of all time already.
It's not even happening.
They just Triple H announced that like this SmackDown and Money in the Bank are their highest grossing like non-stadium events already of all time. When you think the pound, like the pound is greater than the dollar as well, so they're gonna make more money.
Right.
You've got such a rabid fan base that are like kind of starved of this, and now you've ditched the pay-per-view model and it's all on the network. I'm amazed it's taken this long, but yeah, it seems like confirmation we're getting WrestleMania, and I'm pretty sure Tony can't help that.
Yeah, I mean, competition, man. Competition is exactly what everyone needs. A little healthy competition go a long way. That proves clearly. They're like, fuck, they beat us to the jump there. We need to do this. Why aren't we doing it?
And there's a bunch of stadiums they can do. It doesn't necessarily have to be Wembley.
Right.
Wembley's the biggest, and none of them are roofed in London.
Okay.
But most of Wembley is covered. But then I'm thinking, because people are like, "Oh, the weather's an issue." It's like MetLife. The weather was shitty when we went to New York for Mania, and April in London is pretty comparable, I'd say, to New York in April weather-wise. So it could be a gorgeous day. We sometimes get like a beautiful early summer weather in April, or it could be stinky and rainy. But there's plenty of stadiums they can pick from. You've got the Olympic Stadium where West Ham play in Stratford, right by the Copper Box where Rev Pro are going to be playing. You've got Emirates Stadium where Arsenal play. You've got the Tottenham Stadium.
So you're saying all these stadiums are big, but they're not Wembley big.
Wembley's the biggest, but you're talking like 70,000 seaters still.
You got to do
like,
Wembley, though.
You're talking big ones.
You got to beat TK.
Well, that's the thing, right? They're going to want to beat
right.
that. I mean, ticket prices are going to be more expensive than All In.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
I think you'll get more international travelers, like Americans and stuff, going for a WrestleMania than you would an AEW, just because the fan base is a lot bigger. But obviously Philly's already been announced for 40.
41, baby.
So either 41 or 42. I think Minnesota's been talked around as well, but it's coming.
42, bruv.
Yeah.
That'll be the logo. 40 WrestleMania, bruv.
Or will it be WrestleStraya?
WrestleStraya. Yeah. That's when he was interrupted by Grayson Waller, who also, I gotta give props to, sounded great here when they called him a wanker and said that I don't need to do that. He also gave Cena a little. I thought Cena was on point as he usually always is, but then I thought Grayson Waller held his own in this promo segment, basically saying yeah, why would you do WrestleMania here? It's wet, it's cold, it's gross. Why don't we go somewhere where there's a nice beach, some bikinis, fun stuff? And I was kind of on his side there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, that does sound pretty good. But yeah, are we getting Melbourne, Australia, WrestleMania
at the cricket ground?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? There's no reason why you can't now.
They should just do a pay-per-view in Australia, not one of those super showdown things they do. They should do.
I think now you're gonna start seeing a lot more of that. I thought Waller was great here. We have a sense of pride. We do Up Next. We cover all these guys in NXT. Waller was someone you absolutely fucking hated for the longest time and kind of won you over.
Absolutely.
And I think his start on the main roster has been rocky. I don't think...
Well, he's been injured, right?
Well, he's been injured, but even the Grayson Waller effect, he hasn't been as kind of cutting as we've seen him be on NXT. It's felt a lot more scripted. And when he came out, it was crickets. It was the quietest reaction of the whole night, I thought, when he came out. And then I completely thought he flipped this crowd when he started to talk. And I hope we see more than that, because I think this guy's great on the mic, and I think he can go in ring as well. So
yeah, I thought he completely took the crowd in the palm of his hand, mentioning whoa, WrestleMania in London? No, WrestleMania in Australia, because it's better. And then Cena, trust me, let me convince you, don't do this. And it's just pretty funny segment. And then he got FU'd.
And just the confidence as well. You've gone from playing that CWC in front of 300 people, where, you feel very comfortable cutting a promo, to 18,000, whatever it is, with the GOAT, John Cena, and crazy. Completely holding your own. I thought it was a really fun segment, and got me excited for WrestleMania London.
Yeah, you going?
Yeah, of course. I got to go home at least once a year, so I might as well tie it in when there's wrestling going on.
So you think 41, 42, 43?
Yeah.
Something like that. Has to be.
Yeah, 41 or 2.
Maybe they move it back a bit so it's warmer.
What, later in the year?
Yeah, like a month.
Do it in May?
Yeah.
WrestleMania?
WrestleMania.
It's got a good ring to it.
There you go.
Yeah, May can be nice. And then we've got the main event, the Bloodline Civil War.
Whose side are you on?
Usos versus Roman and Solo Sikoa. Going a whole 30 plus minutes here.
Damn, Broadway.
Yeah.
Broadway in London.
What were your thoughts?
Pretty good. I was excited for this match. I think both the Roman matches have been better than usual, but the Usos matches lately have been awesome. The Usos have been great for a long time, but they never have other opponents because they're such higher above everyone else that you can't. How many times can we see the New Day versus the Usos? There's nothing left to do, really. So finally seeing them in a match that makes so much sense really got me interested. And I'd say the first chunk of the match was a lot of classic Roman things that I don't like, the punching, stalling, a lot of that.
The first 15 minutes were very
it was very slow. But you know what, when it finally started to pick up a little bit later, then I definitely got a lot more interested in it. There was a lot of the super kicks and the table bumps, and the Samoan spike spear combo was a pretty good move, and the kick out was awesome. And then of course when it came down to them eliminating Solo with that announce table spot, and then how they took out Roman Reigns, and then Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns, and Roman hasn't been pinned since 2019. Oh my goodness.
I love the shot. I've used it for the show image of Jay getting the pin and Jimmy just sat behind him in disbelief and tears, watching his brother pin Roman.
Yeah.
I love this match. I'm with you. The first 15, 20 were kind of, okay, all right, we're doing the Roman match. But then they really got into kind of what we've seen and liked with, those elite tag matches.
Yeah.
Where it's the details, the storytelling. I loved the the Jay kick out low blow that we've seen Roman use before.
Yeah.
Roman trying to do the stack 'em like he did with Bryan and Edge. There were all these callbacks to all these other matches during this title reign and this Bloodline story. And then Jay being the one to pin. He's not going to be the guy to take the title off of Roman, but I think that has kind of made this story go full circle, which a lot of people have been calling for, and was such a huge moment. I thought they really matched the drama, the storytelling, and the wrestling in this one.
The Usos have been just on a run of finally becoming like they are the best WWE tag team of all time, kayfabe wise or not, just because now they've like completely mastered the like storytelling art of it. This whole year of Bloodline stuff, like there's a reason why so many people have been so into it, and these guys have been absolutely killing it. I'm still definitely like cooled off on the story, and Roman Reigns like always the king of overacting at the end there, like as if some murder has taken place, but that's what wrestling is. So I would say like you definitely could have shaved 15 minutes off this match and it would be a perfect match, but it was super slow. But then I did get really into it, and I would imagine this is all to lead to Jay taking on Roman at SummerSlam.
I think so, and I'm fine with that. The story makes sense. Like they've done a good job of for majority of fans, when you think interest is being lost, they'll do something to keep it going. And I think it's the crumbling of the Roman Empire, right? So you lost Sami, you lost the Usos, Solo. There was the tease on SmackDown where Jay saying like, I don't want to be the tribal chief. Jimmy doesn't want to be the tribal chief. That guy will be the tribal chief. And Roman laughs it off. And Solo like looks at him like, excuse me, what's so funny about that? Yeah. So Solo's going to be the next to leave. And eventually it will be just Heyman and Roman. And then when Heyman leaves him, that's when this title goes to
Cody at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Which is great. Like I think it's you're seeing a lot more in WWE the long-term plans being played out, whereas there was so much hot-shotting and flipping of titles and things and stories out of nowhere, whereas this one it does feel like they've mapped out these stages and mapping out for like the perfect crowd, knowing you'll have a hot crowd in London regardless, so not necessarily needing to put the title in the line. The tag match felt bigger than a title match, I thought. Doing Sami in Montreal, like having all these, I think it's been pretty well done. And
as much as I do want to see Jay versus Roman one more time, I don't think he's the guy to take it from him. And so that we're going to SummerSlam, and it's, as it being a big PLE, is that like a huge main event match? But they've done it before where people really got behind it and liked it. So like they should put their trust in it.
It's more be good. Believable now. So I think people are going to get into those near falls way more than, Roman's first title defense against Jey Uso 3 years ago, where people got into those matches, but no one bought it there. There's, again, like that little nugget where you go, oh, it could happen. Could happen.
So that's probably the
or are they building to Solo being the guy?
Yeah, true.
That would make sense too.
Finally, he's the one to turn on Roman, to take it from him. I still just see Cody at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think that's probably...
That's what we said this time around.
There you go, yeah. This guy's going to be, like, he'll beat Bruno by the end of it.
I like how Paul carries out the 3 titles.
It's ridiculous. I fucking love it.
Yeah. How many damn titles they have here?
Yeah.
Aren't even... Yeah.
Like, that must, like... That was a long match to have 3. These things are heavy.
They're fucking heavy.
3 of them on your shoulders.
Belt wankers. But yeah, fun show. Like honestly, like WWE pay-per-views have been good, as I've been telling a lot of like lapsed fans that are in and out of wrestling that are like, I watch it sometimes. I'm like, well, like I don't watch Raw or SmackDown religiously at all whatsoever, but the pay-per-views I always check out, even if it's live or not, and they have been delivering. And this one for sure, like the main event was probably my match of the night, but I liked a lot of other stuff. The women's Money in the Bank specifically, like definitely jumped out at me. I wouldn't put this up against possibly like Backlash or WrestleMania, but I still really enjoyed this show.
Still a really memorable show made by a hot crowd. Looking at Cage Match, this show has an 8.33 rating, which is very positive.
Nice.
it agreed with you. Match of the night, same with me, was the main event. That's got 8.65. Second match was the women's ladder match, so completely on par with your thoughts, Braden, with an 8.20. Then the men's ladder match, and then Gunther Riddle. So yeah, really, really positive show. I really enjoyed it, and it's making me hyped for SummerSlam, because really these PLEs, they're not missing at the moment.
Yeah, me and you are just spoiled wrestling fans this summer for sure. Coming hot off of Forbidden Door and now going to SummerSlam and then making the trip across for All In. We're gonna be just spoiled rotten of all the great wrestling this year, because SummerSlam's looking good. I see some people in the chat kind of agreeing also that it should be Io Asuka at SummerSlam. That would be a huge match, and I would be losing my mind.
Awesome stadium entrances with those two, and
yeah, Io coming out in her like mask that she used to wear, and then Asuka wearing her mask with the face paint could be pretty cool. I put it, yeah. Like that could be awesome. Jey Uso, Roman, that could be pretty good too, especially given like a no holds barred kind of stipulation or something like that.
Cody, Brock, and an exploding barbed wire death match.
Oh right, that's the match you want to see. Yeah, they'll do it right this time.
They'll do it right.
WWE production.
Yeah.
They kind of did that with Randy Orton that one time against Cena, where he was pushing the buttons.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when he set Bray Wyatt on fire.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah. So SummerSlam's gonna be pretty good. Oh, Gunther versus Drew, possibly.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll be a good show.
It'll be pretty packed.
Look at us, WWE marks right here.
Look, WWE. Dub. Yeah, if you're going to SummerSlam, let us know. We'll probably be doing some sort of a not in a big party kind of way, but a meetup of sorts before the pay-per-view down in Detroit. So let us know if you're going.
Yeah. Well, let's switch over to AEW. We did, as we mentioned at the top of the show, go to Hamilton this past Wednesday to see Dynamite. We had great seats. We were second row.
Yeah. It's Hamilton. It wasn't that expensive, right?
And I know, like, the crowd was like very, very empty, and I know the sound didn't really carry on TV, but I thought like it was hot for what it is. There were just not enough people in a cavernous space. It's not going to sound good, but I had great time.
Yeah, look, I love AEW, and I think that they're doing a lot of things right, i.e. Forbidden Door in Toronto last week. One of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen. Watching it back, some of the best matches and stories, just amazing. But then the Collision thing, I'm not too sold on yet. You're asking wrestling fans in the beginning of summer to spend Saturday nights watching a new wrestling show that is pretty much like the other wrestling show that you had on Fridays that you swore was going to be the B show, but it ended up being a complete lie. And we ain't gonna get fooled again. And I think a lot of people are like that. And one Bill Phil is what I'm calling can't fill the arena Phil, because that's two collisions I've now been to where there was no one fucking there. So as much as we were there, we were starting chants. We were trying to get into it as much as we can, and we totally enjoyed the show at Hamilton. But it was visibly like, I watched Collision back today, and I was like, "Oh, they're good at editing, because they're completely not showing a lot of the empty arena." And as much as I want this company to survive and get better and better, because I love it. I'm such a fan and such a supporter. They need to learn their lessons.
I mean, a lot. This is more contractually like contract obligations, TNT wanted this show at this point. It is bad timing. It is beginning of the summer. It was right before your big show. So you're just trying to focus on too many things. So yeah, like, it's going to take time. But let's start with Dynamite.
Because like, imagine, okay, so Hamilton's outside Toronto. We traveled in, we got our friend Scorpio Sanders to give us a ride. We had a great day in Hamilton, as we mentioned earlier, and we were teased in the presser that it was actually supposed to be Danielson versus Ishii, and we were like, oh my god, that's crazy. But of course Danielson was injured, so they replaced it with Mox Ishii, and we said that's equally as awesome, because they had one match where we couldn't wait for them to fight, and when they did, it was a 5-star classic.
It was in our top 10 match of the year,
a few years back, for the G1
Mox Ishii match.
So for us being Big Tom fans, we were really excited to be front row watching this, and I think both of us, by the end of the first Dynamite match, we went, well, that was worth our trip. So
We've been a fan of this guy for such a long time, and we've seen him quite a few times, but we've never seen a proper like Ishii G1 big match Tom match, have we? And this was completely that. Like they
great.
went.
I haven't rewatched it actually.
They went balls to wall here. I thought this was a awesome match.
Yeah.
And definitely got my money's worth. Those headbutts when you just like we were up close and you just saw the blood like on both of them, like ugh.
Yeah, I was not expecting them to kind of give it
that far.
Yeah, give it that all, especially like in this crowd, in this timing and everything. But then the next day we were hanging out with John Pollock at Demand Lucha, and he was like, man, you guys were so lucky to be sitting for that match. I loved it. It was like, did it come across on TV? He's like, oh, I don't care. I thought it was good. So I was like, oh,
it was
great.
awesome.
Okay, cool. So I do have to watch it back, but I really love that match. And hey, we got to see Sting wrestle, and from our view, if you follow our Instagram stories, it looked like Sting nailed this this ladder spot. We were like losing our minds.
He just disappeared,
and then he's being held up by like 3 people right in front of my girlfriend. She's like, babe, is Sting okay? I'm
this
like,
girl in front of us going, Sting's fucked up. Sting is hurt. He does not look good.
See 3 people helping him up, and there's just blood coming out of his mouth, a lot of it, and I'm like, oh my god, Sting is really hurt. What happened? So finally I quickly look on my phone. I'm like, oh, that's what happened. And he ate shit on that ladder, almost knocking out a tooth or something.
Yeah.
But can finish the match at what, 64 years old? Holy.
I really enjoyed this match as well. Like I thought the show was bookended by 2 really fun, really different matches. Seeing Jericho and Sting go at it. I know Jericho has his kind of haters out there, but I thought was so much fun. I really was getting into those near falls at the end as well. I thought they did a great job with those near falls towards the climax of this match. That Sting spot was nuts. I know the safety police are out there and oh, should he be doing that? Mae Young went through a table at 80, didn't she?
Yeah.
Like, so
I watched Money in the Bank today.
Sting can keep going.
I watched Ricochet almost kill a YouTuber.
Yeah, exactly. I really enjoyed the main. I thought it was great. And then after the show, Sting got like a huge ovation and cut a speech basically kind of saying, like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this, but it's for you fans that I'm doing it for. I don't know if you noticed, Darby looked really emotional in the corner while Sting was talking here.
He said some nice things about Darby being like, I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to come to AEW, but they proposed me this guy, and at first I was like, oh, what the hell? And now this guy's like one of my best friends.
He's like, he keeps me
supporters.
young.
Yeah, he teaches me things about life and the world, and it's like,
and he said he's like his greatest tag team partner he's ever had, and he's had a bunch.
Yeah, take that, Rick.
So big thank you Sting chants at the end. Like it was pretty emotional at the end there. Do you think we'll get Sting Jericho All In?
It's far away, so I imagine we go away.
Jericho
feud, yeah, possibly.
You could be getting it at fucking Full Gear at this.
Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Forbidden Door. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Some of us were like Sting versus MJF to MJF retires him kind of thing, but I don't even know if that's the route either. But there is All Out as well that you could,
I do think you need a big Sting match at Wembley, whether it's a tag or I think we will have one singles match with Sting.
Yeah.
And seeing kind of him and Jericho go at it at the end, I'm like, you couldn't they had a kind of a singles match the last 5 minutes there, didn't they?
Yeah, so I really got into it being two of WCW legends.
Yeah, exactly.
WCW chants.
What else was on this Dynamite?
Can't remember.
No. That was enough for me, those 2.
I honestly can't remember.
We had the
Elite. Hamilton was, so Toronto hated CM Punk, but Hamilton was a pro CM Punk crowd. Actually, they were booing the Elite, and Hangman took on the Dark Order, which I got into as well. But it felt like the crowd just didn't care about this.
It was just a hot-shotted match, wasn't it? Like we've got all the history between Dark Order and Hangman and the Elite, weird that then they just like kind
of blew it. Yeah,
it was just, oh, we've got this match. Let's quickly heat it up in 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Again, the crowd were off, but it's Hamilton, so.
But it seems like a Dark Order turn at the end there with the Elite getting beaten down and Dark Order walking off and announcing Blood and Guts in Boston in 3 weeks. Do you just see it as being a 4-on-4 now?
So what? Yeah.
So Kenny, Bucks, and Hangman against Mox, Yuta, Claudio, and Takeshita.
Yeah.
You don't see anyone getting added either
I guess
side.
no Eddie.
Eddie will be in
The G1.
Japan by then.
Oh yeah.
I think.
So there you go.
Yeah,
4-on-4. It's fine.
Yeah. Kota Ibushi's never coming.
I don't think so.
GLEAT's own Kota Ibushi.
He's just doing a match, right?
Yeah.
So I still see him eventually coming in, but it's got to be the right time. He's not coming up to Hamilton, you know. It's got to be a proper time, a proper story, or something like that. But one day, somehow, I do still see that. But if you're a Coda fan, just watch him in other places. If he's going to be popping up in other places, like that's pretty cool too. But right now, we don't need you right now. Kenny just got fucking annihilated.
If Danielson was healthy,
yeah,
I would think they're gonna have a fifth man, but Danielson being out for a while and might not make All In. Like I think that 8 weeks is very optimistic looking at that break.
Well, wait, yeah, they're saying it's like he might not make All In.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't know how
that
break
Danielson
is clean.
Yeah, I don't know how Danielson's making All In. I don't think he is.
Well, Cody's been wrestling with a broken arm the last couple of months.
Yeah, but he had to fight Dom. You're saying you want Danielson with a broken arm to fight Kota Ibushi?
I want Danielson against anyone with one arm would be better than
tapped
most.
out Okada with one damn arm.
Exactly. And Danielson's a freak. Like he'll be trying to make that show.
He's in the chamber right now, getting jacked like
real,
Vegeta.
Real shame. That looked pretty bad.
No, but we had a lot of fun at Dynamite on Wednesday. We did not make the trip again Thursday. As much as I wanted to see Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe, we are Toronto boys, and we supported local, buy local, everybody. So Demand Lucha was at a show, which, their champ Gringo Loco didn't make it on time because he was busy wrestling for Ring of Honor. But
I was messaging him throughout the show.
You're not going to make
being
it.
like, are you going to... He's like, I'm trying. He was like, keep me updated with the matches. It's like, Sam Adonis is buying you a lot of time tonight.
Cutting promos, yeah. Brian Cage was also not
Brian
on.
Cage missed it as well for ROH.
Yeah. But still, we didn't go to Hamilton for Collision, but I did check out some of it today just before recording, and I enjoyed Roddy Joe. Actually, I thought that was really good. I enjoyed call me crazy, the Gun Club. The Guns joining
Bullet Club.
Bullet Club is working.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually good. Yeah, I like it.
The
juice is loose,
I'm
baby.
kind of turning the corner on Juice.
Oh my god, the juice is fucking loose.
It's like finally this character is working for him. And
it makes so much sense that the Guns are with these guys, and the Guns cutting a promo being like, yo, like, we're lit. We beat the Hardys. We sent them packing. We're former champs. We beat all these people, and now we beat Punk. Like, I love that promo. I love the way they look. I love the way they present themselves. And if they ever need to get rid of the Bullet Club Gold because New Japan is like done with them, they just call themselves the Bang Bang Gang.
Bang Bang Gang. It feels like they're heating up the singles, Jay White and Punk now. Like, and is this for the other the Collision World title? Is that what we're doing here? For the bag? For the big red bag?
The bag that he's carrying this in. So there's another thing. And CM Punk throwing shade at MJF is kind of where I think the story is going to eventually go, and have Punk challenge MJF at All In probably makes the most sense.
Or All Out Chicago.
Oh, right.
You know,
Twice.
Yeah, it's interesting where you go. Do you do Adam Cole MJF? That still seems a long way away, and I feel maybe more of a TV match.
Yeah.
I don't think Adam Cole MJF feels big enough for All In, but it's weird, the back-to-back pay-per-view thing. But I am, like, it does feel like the B show. I'm glad they're doing a few more, like, angles now. It's the undercard of this Collision roster that doesn't feel hot.
Yeah, it still feels like Rampage. Yeah.
I am starting to, like, enjoy the Bullet Club Gold stuff with Punk. I enjoyed Joe Roddy as well. But then you're getting, you know, Sean Spears, Dustin Rhodes, those kind of things where I'm not like, okay. It will take time. But Collision was all right. It's not must watch for me right now. And whereas Dynamite I watch through beginning to end, I feel this is a show I'm going to be skipping through. Especially just the timing of it being a Saturday night, being that I work in a bar Saturday nights. If I'm not working in a bar Saturday nights, I'm going out Saturday nights, and then I do a show at 2:00 on a Sunday.
We literally started.
It's like powering through it.
Yeah.
Like,
I was powering through it today, and I was not watching Goldust and some other wrestler that they're trying to introduce on a Saturday. Like, I just think it's a bad idea putting Friday. Yeah, it works because some people have families and kids, and SmackDown does so well. So do that, but you had your problems already. So now you're just asking, like, the viewers, the numbers, the ratings are showing like it's not doing too well. And I normally don't really care about ratings as long as they're doing a good show and people are enjoying it and stuff, and people are buying their merch. But that's a whole other thing. We went to 4 AEW shows this week. You know what we bought? Nothing, because their merch is shit.
I didn't really even look this time.
It is
I
terrible.
walked past one stand and was like, nope.
What the fuck, man? Like, you go to WWE. Who's the champion? Roman Reigns? You know how many fucking Roman Reigns shirts, necklaces, bandanas, foam fingers, gauntlet wrist things he wears, titles, autographs, everything just for him.
Yeah.
How many t-shirts of MJF did they sell at any of the shows we went to?
I think I saw one.
You saw one?
Yeah.
I didn't even see one. I saw none. I thought their merch was so bad. And talking to random people in line at concession stands, people are complaining, like, who runs this merch? Like, this is money left on the table. New Japan makes a shit ton of money on merch. WWE makes so much money on merch. Why is AEW like not doing the right things?
They're gonna have close to 70,000 people
They
in a
will
stadium
fail
of people.
at
Think like the shipping costs of PWT to Canada alone.
Right.
It's a lot more to buy a t-shirt in the UK, right? You buy a t-shirt from PWT, shipping and all that. One t-shirt's going to cost you over $50.
Right.
Right? Like, you're going to have such a rabid fan base there wanting to spend their money. Who are going to buy so much shit. And you need more than 4 wrestlers merchandise.
Yeah.
You want everything.
I'm just saying, like, we spent money going to four shows this week with how many of our friends and people? Like, fucking 50 to 100 people. And so many people were like complaining, like, I wanted to spend. I went in there being like, you know what? I'll drop 50 on a shirt. I like some of their shirts. I don't, but you know what? There was nothing.
I've never seen a Hangman Page shirt at any event.
None of the events.
I've been to a lot of AEW events
if
now.
If they sold the old cowboy shit one, I would have bought it. If I had a Kenny shirt, I probably would have. They didn't even have a Kenny Omega or an Osprey shirt at the fucking event. This was so like low rent. I've been to
barely any stand.
Ring of Honor, like, yo, these guys, like, in my opinion, if I'm a wrestler, if I'm Kenny, if I'm Osprey, I'd be fucking mad because that's a few K out of my pocket
100%.
that we could have been making at this
100%.
event. You go to indie shows and these wrestlers are trying to sell you their own t-shirts. That's how you fucking make money.
Yeah.
And these people don't understand that. I as a fan, I was like, yo, and I feel like not a lot of people might not be talking about that, but like, wrestling fans like to buy.
It's a common complaint.
So like, I feel like I'm heated.
Stephanie Chase has said this a bunch as well because she goes to loads of shows.
It's like there's people who are there. These people are paying money to be in the door, you know they'll probably spend more money. So why the hell wouldn't you? Yo, even the guns they had. That was the shirt I saw at Forbidden Door, the Bullet Club Gold. Right. And I was like, well, that's the only shirt. Should I just buy it? I didn't, but I was like, now I'm like, oh.
And it's people spend that 10 extra bucks for the convenience of it being there.
Yeah.
You know, I've bought so much tat at WWE events, but it's like, I'm drunk, it's funny. I'll buy the shirt.
You can't even do that there.
I'll buy this fake title. Like, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. Yeah. Like, they absolutely need to up their game.
And like, I thought AEW was a t-shirt company.
Yeah.
And they're just not good at selling me t-shirts.
No.
I really want to spend money on them, but like, wow, they really let me. I'm like, okay. Let's go to Forbidden Door and see what merch. Nothing. They sold a Forbidden Door t-shirt. That was like the poster like wrapped around it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just like, man, like money left on the table. And if I was a wrestler, I would be pretty cheesed.
They need for the UK the half and half football scarves.
Right.
Because that's the thing. You go to a football game, it'll be like Arsenal v Newcastle.
Let's just make them ourselves because they're definitely not going to be selling them.
Like.
There.
Osprey one side, Omega the other side, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay, so let's talk to the grapple guys. One's got frogs on him.
Right, we're gonna get our suitcase. We'll be outside the stadium, shilling our
Grapple
Our fake
Poisonrana scarves.
I'm messaging them right now. 100%.
That's merch right there. One of them's green with pink and all that shit with our frog, and the other's got the black and white. Like
the black and white would be beautiful.
Get like 100 made only. 100 only made.
Yeah.
There you go.
100%.
See, like that's what AEW's got to get on the merch stuff. They didn't sell nothing at these shows, so
Terrible.
money left on the table. Honestly, like I don't understand. WWE, you go there. I told you we went to a house show in December in Toronto, and WWE were shilling out 24/7 titles for like $50 or something like that. So everyone was buying them, and I was like, that's how you get rid of shit you don't want anymore.
24/7 title. Like everyone at Rico had one.
Yeah, because they were like, well, that's the only replica title I want to spend $50 on. Like, so like, yeah, merch definitely is like something I notice now that going to shows, again, I've been to 4 this week. I sound like a crazy person, but I have been to wrestling a lot this week. I'm wrestled the fuck out. And I went into all 4 being like, like if this was WWE, they probably would have got money out of my pocket. But I was truly disappointed. And as much as I think that sounds crazy, that was everyone's point of view. Like, oh, what's going on with this merch? It's really terrible. So don't know if it's like because it was Canada or something, but
no, it's like, dude,
we've been to Blood and Guts, we've been to Grand Slam,
even in Chicago, even when I've been like All Out, it's been the same thing, and PWT is fucking there.
That doesn't make sense.
It's bad,
super bizarre.
So that they were our thoughts on Collision. Samoa Joe laid out
Samoa Joe, I was just dying to buy his t-shirt on Wednesday and I couldn't. So Samoa Joe versus Roderick Strong, which honestly, like, I love these two guys and I love them 20 years ago and I love them as much as I kind of do now. Well, almost 20 years ago. But I was super into this match. It was Roddy getting ragdolled around.
I love the battle of Roddy trying to hit that backbreaker on the biggest Samoa Joe.
I thought
that was a great build to that moment.
Oh my God.
You're getting Punk and Joe next week, and you're getting Starks and Hobbs so they've both got history. I see Punk Starks final with Punk screwing over his new best friend Ricky Starks and turning full heel.
I imagine that's the case, right? Punk has to just turn heel, but then if we're going towards Punk and MJF, that wouldn't be what.
That's true.
So Punk is just this character like Cena, you boom wherever.
It might be the same with both of them. Yeah. Like, pick your sides. Are you an MJF guy? Are you and they kind of did that with their previous feud, right?
Yeah.
We've also got that blind tag tournament, which is actually kind of fun. Like, I don't believe, you just happen to randomly draw Swerve and Keith Lee together. But I kind of like that. Darby and Orange tagging again. We'll see what other team. You got the Adam Cole MJF team. Yeah,
but like again, I think going forward, if Punk eventually with the whole bag thing, I don't know, like him turning on Ricky would make more sense just to 100%. Be a heel. But then you do kind of want to present him as this baby face. But like there's some stuff I'm really loving on AEW, but then like more is their new slogan, it seems, because like there's just too much that I can take in, and I love this stuff. I love wrestling, but there's just so much to try to care about, to even like give time in a week. There's only so many hours in a day that I can spend watching wrestling.
You know what? I thought they did a really good job with Ethan Page on Collision.
Yeah.
He's someone I've really enjoyed. Like when I was during the pandemic doing the Impact reports, he was someone who stood out to me. Obviously, you've seen him a lot just being a local guy. His promos are always really good. And I like that they've turned him, whether it was just for this one night because he's in Hamilton, but he is with, Hardys now for reasons. I like Ethan Page, and I think that could be something that Collision is good for, like elevating an Ethan Page to that next level. Your Miros, your Andrades. But I thought he had a good showing, and I thought that was a pretty fun opening actually with MJF with the squash jobber.
Yeah.
And then the Hamilton guy coming out.
Yeah. Poor Hamilton. They just got beat up 3 times in a row there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that as well. I thought Ethan Page held his own. I think eventually it will get over for him. Like something will happen for him down the line. And I think a lot of us fans see that with him. He's good and he gets better and better every time. So he's almost like MJF light. That's the problem. To have him against MJF, it's like, well, you're also a really good bad guy who talks a lot of crap. So eventually we'll get that big run. I could see it from him. I mean, sticking with MJF getting Hamilton heat. I mean, so I watched Collision, and Punk was on commentary for the main event, and he was going over about how like he loved Canada, but a lot of people in Canada seem to not love him as much. Then he starts bringing up hockey, and that he's a big fan of hockey, and that Kevin Kelly calls him out on Punk. I don't want to, say anything, but you're a hockey guy, and when you came out tonight, you touched the Owen Cup, and like anyone in hockey would tell you, if you touch the Stanley Cup before winning it, you're never gonna win it. And Punk's like, yeah, well, luck is for losers. And then said that he's bigger than Canada, and that he's even bigger than Wayne Gretzky.
Damn.
So when Punk says stop me when I'm telling lies, I officially have to say stop. But I got a huge chuckle out of that. So yeah, he was cheered in Hamilton when we were there.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's gonna get cheered in different cities and different places.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I guess that's gonna be the fun part about going to a show.
Yeah. Moving on from AEW, some sad news. The passing of Darren Drozdov.
Droz. He's gonna puke.
He's gonna puke.
Rest in peace. One of the first wrestling toys I've ever had is the one with him in the skirt thing. You told me you've actually had the same figure.
I think so, yeah.
Just because like when I just started watching wrestling, I saw it at a garage sale and it was like $1. So I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know who it was. Eventually figured it out and I was like, oh, cool, it's Droz. So I probably still have it somewhere.
Yeah, he was one of those guys when I started watching wrestling. I was just like, who's this guy?
What is this guy?
What is this guy? Him and Prince Albert.
Him and Prince Albert. What about him and LOD, right?
Yeah.
2000 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then of course he's gonna puke from
Beyond the Mat,
which is definitely where a lot of people know him from.
Yeah, very sad. Still pretty young in his 50s, and yeah, like we saw him he was in the last season of Dark Side of the Ring quite a bit, talking about
right.
that. He was in the the Brawl for All tournament. Tragically had the match against D'Lo where he broke his neck and was paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of his life, but always maintained a like really positive outlook and high spirits. Did a lot of writing on the website. Was it Bite This he did, I think.
Oh wow.
He used to do a lot of like writing for WWE.com. And yeah, everyone always praised him for like his like attitude and spirit after the accident, but very sad.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Droz.
Yeah, pour one out, Droz. For Droz there.
Any Droz memories?
No, I remember the LOD 2000, and I've watched Beyond the Mat quite a few times. So.
I just remember like starting to watch wrestling and seeing him and Prince Albert coming out with a piercing kit and tattoo kit and being like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I was loving it. Yeah, and even the figure I mentioned has the piercings and his tongue is sticking out of it like a Kiss figure almost. So yeah,
I think it's the photo I've used.
It literally is that figure. Yeah,
I definitely had this figure as well.
I don't know why I had it, but I just did. So yeah.
But rest in peace, Droz.
While we're recording this, Sunday, July 2nd is also Terry Funk's birthday today.
It is,
so,
yeah.
Shout out to the Funker.
So happy birthday, Funker.
I saw that Dreamer was hanging out with him today for Terry Funk's 79th birthday.
Wow.
And he got him a cake with him with a Terry Funk figure branding a Hulk Hogan figure in the butt.
When's his next match?
No, he's retired.
Okay, I don't believe you. And you know how you can celebrate Terry Funk's birthday?
Yeah, you can go check out our...
You can give us $5 and...
give us $5, yeah.
Check out Best Match Ever Terry Funk.
Yeah, we did a Best Match Ever Terry Funk many moons ago, and it was one of our favorite shows, and one of my all-time favorites there. Isn't it Bret Hart's birthday, too? I'm a Canadian, I should know this, but his birthday... Canada Day? Oh, no, it is Bret Hart's birthday. Yeah. Bret Hart's birthday too. Two legends.
Wow.
On yeah, I always remember that. Bret Hart's birthday comes the day after Canada Day.
Nice.
That's how you know he's the Canadian hero.
Got
legend.
you.
Perfect. So there you go. Bret Hart, I hope it's a 4 out of 10 birthday.
Well day. He wasn't well this week.
Oh man.
He couldn't
really?
he had something that was I follow Hitman Bar on Instagram.
That's right.
And he put out an apology because he couldn't make it for
well, I hope he's okay.
That event. So all the best to the Hitman.
Actually, yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, happy birthdays to some legends.
Yeah. Well, that was a 4 out of 10 show from us. Happy birthday, Brett. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I think that's about it. We will be doing a rare Sunday night show later in July on the 30th for the Great American Bash NXT show So look.
Yes, we will. I forgot about
forward
that.
to that. That's in about a month or so. And then we're gonna be going to SummerSlam about the week after that in Detroit, and then All In It. So if you are going to All In, I was gonna say get tickets to All In It, but at the moment you can't. But we're working on some sort of possible downstairs area as well. So
you can hopefully at least drink with us, but the show is very unlikely at this point. You'll be able to see.
So we got a lot of things going on this summer, including lots of other podcasts. I mentioned our Vengeance 06 review is out on the Patreon. This week we got Midsummer coming out as well. This Tuesday, we won't be doing Up Next on Tuesday. We will be doing Up Next sometime on Wednesday during the day. So maybe like, I don't know, 12 or 2 or something. Yeah. We'll look for the socials and stuff, but we will be doing NXT. I haven't yet watched NXT yet, but I am going to watch because I have to see Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes. I can't not watch that match.
I enjoyed NXT this week. There was definitely some good stuff that happened on this week's show, and obviously you can check out Up Next. Thank you once again, B Detroit, for stepping in this Tuesday on the Post Wrestling feed.
And again, listen to What Up Doe on this feed. I love Sino and B. They're my new favorite podcast to listen to, and lots of other shows. And thanks again to anyone who came to the Forbidden Pour. We loved seeing you all, you fine people. It was so fun, and I can't wait to see you people again, whatever shows. Maybe you're going to some similar ones this summer as well. And I hope everyone's enjoying the summer.
Yeah.
Get outside.
Not very summery today, but...
Get off Twitter, because Elon Musk told me to.
Yeah.
He says Twitter's shit now.
He's fighting in the Coliseum now, I believe.
He's going to get washed.
Good.
I hope. Yeah. They should put Facebook and Twitter on the line.
I think so, yeah.
That's the only
winner
way.
takes all.
Yeah. Not Meta. That's too much. But Facebook and Twitter, that's a good deal.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the fight. We'll cover it if it ever happens. Book it in a fight circus or something.
We'll get Eric Marcotte on the show.
We did get that confirmation. I said that if, because Dana White has been joking that he would put that on in a UFC octagon. And I said to Eric Marcotte, who was over last week, that we would need an MMA expert, and he has offered his services if Musk and Lizard Guy fight.
Apparently, Elon's mum said he said, no, Elon, you're not doing that. What the streets are saying.
The streets.
Yeah.
Elon's mom still controls his life.
Yeah.
So really, Elon's mom is controlling the world.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's
Mums
pulling
rule the
strings.
world. Shout out, mums.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, everyone, for listening. So I would say follow us on Twitter if you still use it, at PoisonRana.pod. So why not follow us on Instagram?
Yeah.
Guys.
Instagram's way more fun.
There is rumors that there's going to be a Twitter, Instagram type thing. So it's a separate, it uses your same Instagram, but now is like a Twitter style thing.
Okay.
So that could be the
All
rival.
right.
So guys, at PoisonRana.pod, we still only have 300 people who follow us. So guys, follow us, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Do
I
it.
know you use Insta. Go follow us at PoisonRana.pod. You can follow me, Braden Herrington. I'm at Twitter and Instagram at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
We thank you so much for listening to us, and we will be back Wednesday with Up Next, but lots of other podcasts. Poisonrana.ca for everything else. That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And no one is better than Wayne Gretzky.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.